Hello and welcome to another edition of Luminar Coffee Break. I'm your host, Vanelli. Now, our topic today is how to create beautiful black and white photos using color styles. All right. Now, before we begin, let's just take a quick moment and thank our partner, Fujifilm. Make images, share stories, and experience moments at the speed of life with Fujifilm. Thank you for staying at home with us. And we're back. Welcome, everyone. Glad you could join us, all our friends from all around the world. Now, let's dive right in. So here I am, the beautiful kitten, and I downloaded this image from Unsplash. And here is the photographer we like to give credit to. All right. I went ahead and I created a couple looks that I'm going to go through real quick. So here's black and white, and I use Anaheim. So what I want to do is show you how I created it, and then we'll start knocking these out. All right, so first thing I did was I came over, and before the black and white conversion, let me hide it, and before the Creative LUTs version, here we are with a regular image of the kitten. I wanted to just get the exposure correct because I'm going to apply this to the entire series of images. So, I did a few adjustments to light, the AI enhancer, of course, and then detail enhancer to add a little more sharpness to the image. Once I have all that set, then I came over, and here we are with the creative tools, and I'm going to apply Anaheim. So I just went right to the very top, started with the very, very first one, looked at it, liked it, then came over to the creative tools, the essential tools, and just invoked black and white. So here's before, here's after. Now I do want to say the color version looks phenomenal too. But since we're working strictly with black and white, I saved everything with the black and white conversion. And if I want to, I could just uncheck or toggle off the black and white, and now we have a good looking color one. So let me go back down to the LUTs panel. So now that we have that one set, here it is with and without. It'll look really, really close. Let me hide this for you. I'm going to hide myself. You ready? So this is before. Here's after. Notice the color range or the color tone is being expanded just a little. I can still come in here and look at this. I can make it as rich as I want, bring back the contrast or dial it in. And I can even adjust the different saturations of the color. Look at that. Now, I know when we're talking about black and white, rarely do we mention color is part of it, but look what the color styles are doing to make that black and white just jump. Now that I made changes to it, I'm going to right click and update with current settings. So now that one is done. I went over to the same concept to a few of the other ones. So let me recreate one with you right now. So I already did these. So I'm going to come back over, and I didn't do Bakersfield. All right, so here's Bakersfield. And again, I want these to start looking different. So I'm going to apply different settings. The base settings are all the same. And what I mean by the base settings is the essentials along with, the essentials are all the same. What I want to change is right here. So I'm going to change the amount and see what that does. Look at that. I'm going to hide you so you can see more of the screen. Let's make this more, less contrast. Good. And let's see what saturation does. All right, so for this particular image, saturation is not playing a key role, so I might as well just leave it at the default value of 0. Good. But this contrast, that's it. more of a flat image. Okay, that looks good. So Bakersfield. Now I'm going to come over, create a new look, black and white series, and this is Bakersfield. So now I know I use the Bakersfield's LUTs or color style to create this, and then click Save. Awesome. Now that I have that set, let's come down to, in fact, let's just do this. I'm going to come through and select some until I really feel it just jumps out at me. And what I want to do is has to bring that contrast back up a bit. Good. And let's see. Yep, Tokyo. Let's use Tokyo. All right, so I have Tokyo set. There we go. Now we're going to add a little variation to this. All right, good. So that's looking good. All right, saturation is playing a little role in it. Now let's add more color to this. So go to the Pro Tools. Now under the photo filters, let's give it a generous amount first. And I definitely want to preserve the luminosity. Because if I don't, this is what the entire image is going to look like. So I want the luminosity or the brightness part of the image to capture the colors. What I need to do now, though, is change the colors slightly to match the image. So this is giving it a tint. So we're going to be giving our photo a tint. Blues are usually good. Look at that. And all I'm doing now is using the saturation slider to determine how much or the strength of that blue we want to apply. Good. So I want it to be there, but not to the point where it's overbearing. There we go. All right, that looks good. Before and after. Great. So let's come back up here again. This is Tokyo. Black and white. Tokyo. Try that again. There we go. So here we're Tokyo, but then we added a little twist to it, and we put a blue filter to it. So let's just put blue on it. And we added a blue filter. So now we know it's black and white. Tokyo was the LUT we used, and then we used a blue filter. Great. So if that worked for the color styles, let's replace the color styles. Let's come back up and grab a different one. So if it worked for the color styles, we're going to do something really cool. Here we go. Color punch, no. What about Chicago? I'm going to work with Chicago. So if it worked there, let's see what split toning is going to do. I'm going to remove the black and white, or the color, the photo filter. That looks good just as is. Wait one moment. You know what? I actually like that a lot by itself. So what was that? That was under Chicago. Ooh, look, I like Chicago. So I'm going to save Chicago real quick. So black and white. So there we go. All right, so here we go. We got Chicago. AGO. There we go. All right, so we have Chicago, just plain black and white. I'm going to copy that. Good. Now let's come back down here for the split toning, and let's see what the split toning is doing. And look at this. All right, so we're going to mess with the highlights first. Now let's go into the shadows. And I think the shadows We'll pop those blues in the shadows. All right. Good. And let's make this more of golden. All right, there we are. Oh, look at that. So before, after. All right, I'm liking it. And you know what? This one here, just for a change of pace, we could come up and let's add some noise to this. So it's under creative, film grain. Not too much, but just a little. There we go. Look at that. Oh, I like that a lot. All right. So now we just created that. We used LUTs, and we also used split toning. And we said it was Chicago, I believe. Yep, Chicago. So I'm going to add a new look. It was black and white Chicago. And then we used split tone. There it is. And now we have them. So if I come over here, who was that asked for it? David, yes, not Olive. Okay, here's Olive. So here's our rescue kitten, Olive. And here are the looks that we just created. So now I can just go through, and I'm going to hide me so you can see them better. There we go. All right, good. So now I can just go through and start selecting which of these I like best, and then apply it. Now, if that worked great for the kittens, let's jump down here to my collection. Okay. We do the same thing. We do the same thing for portraits of people. The difference, I would say, is this. Oh, look at that. Before and after. Already it's looking great. I'm going to do the last one we did, the tritone. Ooh, I like that better. But now that we're dealing with people, with black and white with a person, well, then I'm going to come over here to the portrait tools, skin enhancer, give it a generous amount. I'm going to leave the skin detection removal off. If I need it, I'll apply it when I'm applying it to the images. That's good there. Eyes. Let's definitely enhance her eyes and remove any dark circles. All right, I got a little too generous with that skin. I'm going to worry about here. All right, there we have it. So now that I have that set, I can come down, save it. It is still black and white. This one we said tritone. I could put black and white tritone. Right, I could use black and white tritone. Portrait. So now when I put that word portrait in there, I know that I improved the eyes, the skin. In fact, I could continue with the portrait enhancer, and I'm going to just shut off the black and white for a moment. There we go. And the reason why I'm turning off the black and white is I do want to see the lips here. Oh, that looks good. Her eyebrows already look good, but I'm going to improve just a little bit for other ones. I like the face. I don't like to slim the face. I only like to do that on per image basis. And let's just drop a little light onto the face. There we go. All right, let's go back to black and white. There it is. We'll turn it back on. Right click. Update with current settings. So can you see where I'm heading with this? You can spend the entire weekend and creating your own looks just based on the color, based on the LUTs that we have built right into Luminar. Once you do that, you can go back, and if you're using portraits, then you can go back and apply the portrait tools, and now you have a totally new look based on the portraits. So that's how you can have a lot of fun with black and whites, making them just look absolutely awesome. All right? Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Now, Monday is our special edition. It's the end of season 1 of Coffee Break. We've had over 230 episodes, if not more. We'll go through all of that. But Monday is the final season of season 1 of Coffee Break. And we hope to see you then. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you at the next Coffee Break.